The summer Hikaru cooked a steak.
How are you feeling about the summer Hikaru cooked a steak and then his friend was scared of the forest?
I'm curious on what the twist at the end is going to be. Because I feel like they're laying the backdrop fairly well, where things aren't as they seem. Like horror movie elements in terms of like the small village and then like people know things for some reason.
And are also getting abducted a lot.
Yeah, and not saying anything or reporting it past the local authorities, which is just like one guy inside of a booth somewhere. I think it's interesting. I think the one scene was a little, I don't know. It's like, okay, I heard things about this anime and I guess I can see what the things are where they said like Hikaru's a size king. And I'm like, okay, I can see it. I'm only on episode 2, but I don't think it's like that bad. Like, I don't think it's just like, oh man, like this anime is only about one thing.
I'm trying to think of like how you're explaining this episode without any spoilers. I'm thinking about it as I go through it in my head. I like the show. I mean, obviously, my inference in the first episode of like, hey, this is an allegory to being out and proud of who you are, his change in personality and all of this stuff. It's much less this episode.
Until one scene. And then I'm kind of like, okay.
And then, yeah, it comes back a little bit, but also, like, I like it. It's good. And
Yeah.
I'm going to enjoy a good love story. Is if this is that, I don't know
like, if you can, because you don't like Harumi and Yachio, so I don't know how you even understand.
Shut up. If Yoshiki and Hikaru end up in, like, a loving, normal relationship, or if we're portraying, like, understandable, when you're looking at real relationships, your first relationships are usually destructive. You don't really know about it until later on because you don't analyze it as you're going through it. And then you start to learn to analyze things and you see your red flags and all this stuff. This is like that. Watching these two kids interact with each other and learn about themselves and the fears that they deal with, but also it being fear added on top of that is a little bit weird for me.
It's not two kids, to be fair.
They're 16, right?
Well, there's a kid, and then there's like a monster inside of a kid.
yeah, okay.
That's also like 5,000 years old.
Yeah, and he's just like having the best time. He's like, I love biking. This is great. Have you guys had ice cream? Anyways, let's get to it, Greg.
Okay, here we go. Episode 2. Yoshiki and Hikaru are riding their bikes, and Hikaru is telling Yoshiki to wait up for him. But then Yoshiki stops and sees some police cars drive by. And Yoshiki is like, I wonder what happened, as the clouds pass by and cover the sun. Ominous. Hikaru said his mom was talking about some Master Aura lady that died. And Yoshiki is like, it's not Master Aura, it's Matsuda, who is the old lady from last episode. Yoshiki looks forlornly at Hikaru, but then the clouds pass and the sun comes out, and I wrote it's symbolism for him probably doing the right thing, like turning Hikaru in, versus not doing that and getting what he wants, which is a fake Hikaru friend. That's how I took that scene.
Okay.
And then it cuts to Tanaka driving and listening to AKB48.
Also, smoking.
Did you recognize that song after you heard it? Oh, damn. Okay.
What was it? AKB48? What was the...
Yeah. Aitakata.
Okay.
I don't listen to J-pop. I don't listen to K-pop, but I know back in the day, AKB48 was like gigantic, and everyone was singing that song across all nations, not just Japan.
I was very into Last Alliance, Asian Kung Fu Generation, and Beat Crusaders, and also the Wangan Midnight soundtrack.
I only know some of those because they were in anime.
Yeah. I mean, Asian Kung Fu Generation was gigantic.
They were intro for Full Metal Alchemist, am I right? Or
they
not?
did. They had so many songs that were intros to different.
And Beat Crusaders
I think they had like
was-
2 that were Naruto, 1 that was FMA.
Was Bleach, right?
No, it was. I think they did get a Bleach one. Holy shit! You just remembered. But no, it was Beck. Beck was.
Okay.
Yeah, I Was Made to Hit in America.
And you were made to hit kids and women like an Anne Shirley?
Okay, first of all, whoa. And then I think we had Eureka 7 had some intros. There's so many, like, I'm trying to think of, Ellie Garden was the one I really, really loved. Because they sounded like Blink-182 to me. Japan's Blink-182. If you ever legit want to listen to a really, really good, well put together band of just like pop punk Japan bullshit, it's fucking Ellie Garden. They fucking rule. Every single album's like no skips, all heaters.
Okay,
Anyways.
I'll take your word for it.
It's so good.
The kids at school are talking about the Matsuda rumors, and one girl says she committed suicide by stuffing her fist down her own throat. And Yoshiki looks at Hikaru, and he's talking to the teacher about the singing stuff they were doing. And these are all scenes like through his bangs. I don't know what significance his bangs have. I don't know if it's like a Zenshu thing that like after he comes out of his shell, he cuts his bangs.
I think he, in general, Yoshiki, is just barely skating by right now.
Mentally, he's barely skating by.
Yeah, and he's just trying to keep it together. Like, he doesn't care about his hair. He doesn't care about anything.
They did make references to his bangs and his hair in last episode, too.
And they do in this one, too.
I wonder if that has some sort of significance later on.
Yeah.
But the baseball kid says maybe he's cursed too, since he always takes the Eastgate Mountain path to get home to Ashidori. But the tunnel is under construction, so he takes a detour through some forest, and he says that forest is scary as hell.
It is scary. Hikaru died there last year, guys.
I don't know if it was that forest.
Man.
A forest in the mountains, I think.
They're all the forests. The forest of the mountains and the forest of the hills, they're connected. They're the same forest.
Isn't everything the same forest? The girl is like, nah, you crazy. And he's like, nah, man, it feels like my eyes physically can't stray from the path. And when he tries to look up, his body freezes. But then volleyball girl is like, damn, that sounds sick. Let's go. And baseball guy is like, Yoshiki, walk me home. And he's like, nah. But then Hikaru rolls up and is like, sounds like fun. I want to go. Everyone is like, you hate scary things. And you fainted for 2 hours once after watching a horror movie. And Hikaru is like, nah, I'm good now. Right, Yoshiki? And he's like, yeah.
Yeah, I grew up. I'm doing so good now with scary stuff. I'm doing so good.
In episode 1, when volleyball girl stopped Hikaru and Yoshiki in the hall and told them they have like study hall, not science that period or whatever. And Hikaru was like, oh shit, movie, can't wait to watch. Maybe that's why she was surprised, because she knows that Hikaru like hates movies.
Yeah.
I just kind of put those two pieces together. If they go together, I'm going to say they do.
Okay.
Baseball guy is like, sick. It will be all of us. Yoshiki, Asako, that's volleyball girl.
Okay.
Yuki, that is the choir girl that was talking to the teacher in the silent part of last episode. And Hikaru. And I don't know the baseball kid's name. I'm pretty sure they said it, but I didn't write it down.
Yeah, well, because he's stupid. Fuck him. He's dumb. I don't know. I'm just giving you excuses for...
Damn, okay. I'll take him.
Okay.
And Asako whispers under her breath that it's probably best if they stick together. Cuts to Tanaka rolling up, and he's like, hey, sorry I'm late. And the village elder dudes are like, man, you took your sweet-ass time. And Tanaka's like, whatever, let's go inside. And then he starts ripping down the police tape from Matsuda's house.
So real quick, these set pieces of this show are insane. Like, I said it last episode. I will repeat it until the animation gets bad. Okay? I don't know if it ever does. But, like, this dude rolls up. You see the dirt on the window of the car. You see the streaks. You see the dirt in the fucking wheel well. It's pretty fucking intricate. And I understand that's probably CG and then, cell shaded over top of it. But the background, the lush greens, the what looks like a mailbox or some sort of electricity thing, all of it really brings me in. Like, I feel there. And that's what gives you the feeling of unease with this show. Because they're not talking about a lot. Not a lot is happening, but the set is like unnerving, because you're like, this is a beautiful place. This is a beautiful part of the country. Like, I would love to hang out here. And then you see like the cicadas fucking molting, and you're like, no, I'm good actually. Fuck that.
I think it's important. They're doing a good job that these little attention to detail pieces, especially for like a mystery horror film, I think it's like really good. Mm-hmm. And I mean, as we saw earlier in the show, that Tanaka was driving to this location and it looked like he was driving in the forest, and just from the road noise, it sounded like he was on a dirt road.
Yeah, and that's like crazy good sound design.
Yeah, and then the fact that when he rolls up in his car, the car feels like it went down a dirt road. They're like, hey, that's illegal to pull down all that police tape. And he's like, shut the fuck up. Be careful with my hamster cake, bitch. And then he breaks a window to unlock the door.
He was so worried about his hamster, but he's smoking in the car with his hamster, who famously, hamsters can only smoke 2 cigarettes a day or else they die if they smoke a third.
Is that including secondhand, or do they have to smoke their own hamster-sized cigarette?
I know, they smoke real normal-sized cigarettes.
Damn, those hamsters are hard.
It looks like this, and they try and... Yeah, it's crazy. I've seen it.
Damn, so you watched a hamster smoke a cigarette?
Several packs, because the hamster lived for so long, obviously.
Oh,
because
damn.
I didn't break the rules of 2 cigarettes a day.
I don't know what this is referring to, but...
It's referring to literally nothing. I made it up out of fucking nowhere, okay?
I
just
don't
worry
know.
about the hamster, okay?
Tanaka asks Takeda who his dad is, and he says that his dad won't come out of his room because he thinks he's going to be killed next. And Tanaka laughs and is like, I know, right? And Takeda gets mad and is like, it's probably your company's fault. Tanaka says letting that other company alter the land would have been a bigger mistake if you ask me, and my company put a stop to it, so you should be thanking us right now. One of the other elder dudes says it's not just Matsuda, and strange stuff has been happening all around the village, and he tells Tanaka that he should already know that the Indo's son went missing and their ritual must have failed, which caused it to start acting up. I think he's talking about the clown. So they're going to walk down the street and just like a red balloon's going to be out of the sewer grate or whatever.
I would be so angry. I'm sure they will reference some horror and thriller in this show.
It was like a space bug, right?
I hate
like in the
horror, Greg, and also I'm afraid of the dark. You think I would know anything about that?
Yeah.
Okay, sick. Thank you.
Okay, yeah,
no,
yeah.
I know nothing about it.
Oh, okay.
Other than that, yes, he is from another dimension, not from space, from what I understand. Like, because of the Dark Tower is like the connection to all the different things. That's Stephen King's
Okay, I'll
multiverse.
spare you the scene about going downstairs to do your laundry in the dimly lit basement. So if you have to do laundry today, don't worry about it.
I don't, so go ahead.
Cuts to the kids at the mouth of the spooky forest, but they go through with no issue.
How many mouths does a forest have?
Just one. I think you go in it, then you come out of it.
How many holes does a person have?
I think one. I think you go in one side and you come out the same side.
You're not just a straw.
What are we talking
Anyways,
about?
continue, Greg. Go ahead. I'm getting off on tangents here.
Cuts back to Tanaka at Matsuda's house, and he finds a bunch of Nonuki-sama scribblings and says that something must have happened to her in the past. And the elder dudes say she had a traumatic experience in the mountains as a child. They say she used to be normal, but her daughter disappeared without a trace. And Tanaka said the more she feared it, the more it was attracted to her. Cuts back to the kids, and they're walking back through the forest after dropping off Baseball Kid, and Yoshiki sees something in the forest that looks like the Hiragana Ku character. But then it changes into a giant long neck figure swinging its head back and forth.
It's fucking terrifying, by the way.
Nah, not really. It's like...
Dude, I'm not good with any sort of like supernatural stuff unless somebody's like a badass on the field. If some like long neck thing swinging Slender Man ass bitch rocked up to me, I would immediately crawl up in the fetal position and then be dead. Like, that's my defensive maneuver. You know, like those goats that like anytime something scary happens, they just fall the fuck over?
Yeah.
Or is it, what is it? Is it sheep or what is it?
I think it's a tanuki.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's me. That's all I can do. That's my defense mechanism.
Hikaru is like, oh, hey, Yoshiki, you saw it. Damn, that sucks. It's following you now. And then Hikaru does something and his nose starts bleeding. And then you hear like a loud snap or something like that.
Yeah, it's that.
Cuts back to Tanaka and the elders, and they went to Mikasa's house. And Tanaka said the situation is worse than he thought, and they needed a safer place. And he created a barrier around the shrine at Mikasa's. Tanaka says he went to the mountain in the morning and found a bag, and they say Kohei always used that, and wonders if it was Hikaru's. And Tanaka is like, well, look inside. And they're like, what the fuck is this? A black stone? And Tanaka is like, nah, I think that used to be someone's head. And they're like, what the fuck? And Tanaka says, it's good at warding off spirits. Tanaka says he thought it caused the impurity of the mountain to disappear, and everyone is surprised. But he's like, it's too small, and especially what happened after Matsuda, it couldn't have been it. And he says it has probably come down from the mountain and found a way to stay hidden among them. So now there's a lot of like unknown stuff right now. They're talking about it. They're talking about these rituals. They're talking about the purity of the mountain. So a lot of stuff that we don't know yet as viewers, but I assume is going to be revealed later on. They did talk about like a ritual or something, I think last episode.
They did with this as well, with this little item.
Yeah.
You saw it.
And it was like a bug molting, but then a bunch of little bugs eating it or something like that.
So
like they had a bunch of weird
stuff
stuff
throughout the episode.
Yeah.
So the bug that's like shedding its skin is happening throughout the episode, and like ants are taking it apart.
Cuts back to the kids, and Asako is like, what was that noise? And freaks out and grabs Yuki and runs. It switches to Yoshiki and Hikaru, and Hikaru was knocked out, but comes to and says that thing wanted to latch onto Yoshiki, so he crushed it and ate it, and it put up a fight and made his nose bleed. And he tells Yoshiki to only look at him, because those things are lonely, so if you look at them, they'll follow you. They get out of the forest and the girls are waiting, and they're like, oh shit, Hikaru, you bleeding. And he's like, oops, I tripped and fell, hey. And they said that the noise might have just been a gun misfire or something. Who knows?
Yeah, because Japan, super normal guns.
Yeah. And then Hikaru looks at Asako, all suspicious with his red eyes.
It's like, that bitch is figuring it out, I'm gonna fucking kill her.
Yoshiki gets Hikaru's attention, but he sees a bunch of little black dots on Yoshiki. And I don't think those black dots were there before, to be honest. I think they did like a faraway pan shot of him before in episode 1, and I don't remember seeing all of those black dots.
I don't think so either.
Pinky says they were. Maybe I'm going crazy. But they strangely focused on them. So that's why
they did focus on the blemishes.
And thinks to himself and is like, well, I'll make sure no one takes him. And then Hikaru can like see Yoshiki's heart through his chest or something like that.
His heart energy. He sees his cursed energy and then he domain expansions.
Nice, yeah.
Take it for me, young man, or something. And this is superpower. It's guaranteed hit. And they make out about it. By the way, don't listen to me. I am making humor of a very serious like thrillers moments in this episode because that's how I cope with shit.
Cuts to a Hikaru flashback of his dad and him with sparklers, and his dad says if he finds a girl, he's got to marry her right away, and if he doesn't, Unuki-sama will drag her into the mountains, and it's an Indo family secret, and they have an agreement that Unuki-sama won't hurt their family.
Yeah, what the fuck, bro?
Hikaru asks why it does that, and his dad says because it's lonely, and it will take who is closest to you. At school, Hikaru and Yoshiki are in the PE closet, and Hikaru is taking off his shirt from it-aesthetics.com, where Hikaru saved 10% off using the promo code TABC10 on checkout. And he took off a shirt very similar to mine, the one with Makima on it. And I would take my shirt off, but I'm not as ripped as Gigi. But either way,
no, dear God, no.
You can save 10% off using promo code TABC10 at it-aesthetics.com.
I forgot there's green in this shirt. So when I turned around, there's a lot of green going on. And it's a good shirt, though.
Oh, damn. That's a good shirt. Hikaru takes off his shirt, and he's like, man, this is all raunchy and shit. And Yoshiki's like, man, all I wanted to know was what you meant by crushed and ate that thing.
Dude, I just came in here to grab towels. Like, could you put your fucking shirt on? And he's like, it's so sexy in here, dude. Have you seen how sexy it is in here? And he's just unbuttoning himself. And he's like, Yoshiki's like, dude, there are other people around somewhere that could help me.
Just
probably.
like, hey, can you guys go get the basketballs? And he's like, yeah, let me take my shirt off.
Rip just fucking enters there butt naked.
And Hikaru is like, yeah, that's what I'm showing you. That's why I gotta take my shirt off.
I don't think it's cringe so much as I'm making fun of it, obviously, because anytime someone takes their shirt off, it's fucking silly. We are all born naked, but we put these clothes on to attract other people and look cool for the camera.
I put on clothes to not attract people.
You put on clothes to mask your body dysmorphia that you have for yourself. You hot bitch, you.
Especially when I go to the hospital and they need a second bed to hold something else.
Yeah, goddamn right. Anyways, so this scene is actually like somewhat endearing in the idea that like they're exploring for the first time of what each other is. And like, I remember my first time experiencing like that kind of human touch, that kind of like excitement, nervousness, all
when
of that.
Someone reached inside of you.
Sure. It's very much like when you see I remember when I saw a woman take her shirt off for the first time as an adolescent. I shouldn't say woman. I should say, this is all a slippery slope that we're just sliding down so poorly right now. So I'm going to continue sliding down the slope. I saw a girl take her shirt off for the first time. I remember like, damn, boobs are fucking cool, man. Holy shit. That is really cool. And like the feeling of like your palms get sweaty, you're nervous, you're just like
your knees are weak.
Yeah, arms heavy, vomit on my sweater already. Mom's spaghetti. This scene I don't think is cringe. I think it's important. It's obviously an allegory to them making out while they have time in class.
It's okay. So I don't want to say the scene was cringed. I will say it was uncomfortable, but then I had to, while I was watching it, I put myself in the mindset that like Hikaru isn't human. Like he's not a real person. He may look like a real person.
Right.
And whatever is inside of Hikaru's body doesn't know what is like
human boundaries.
Yeah, I mean, I guess technically it does know because it has all of Hikaru's memories and stuff. But also in the past where it said, like, I know I've seen this movie 5 times, but this is the first time I'm actually seeing it sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I think this, whatever is possessed Hikaru's body, is more interested in experiencing the experiences versus maintaining like what humans would believe is
it's
okay.
Like banging dudes over decorum, you know, like it's okay. I know, I just but what I'm saying is like Hikaru as the monster is breaking the mold because those boundaries don't really exist and is about the experience, whereas Yoshiki is nervous. It's just like it almost has that like not a sub-dom relationship, like not BDSM, but it has that like I'm going to just like we're just going to do stuff and figure out what everybody likes because I want to find out. And that's the exact like childish mentality of Hikaru, even though he's a 5,000-year-old monster. He's like, enter me, bro. And then Yoshiki's like, oh, is that legal?
Hikaru has a vertical slice down his chest. And he's like, Yoshiki, stick your hand in this shit. And Yoshiki does. And he's like, it feels like bags of sand.
God damn it, dude.
Do you know what that's from?
What a reference. Yeah, it's from 40-Year-Old Virgin,
okay.
Dude.
Good, I'm glad
God
you got it.
damn.
No, Yoshiki doesn't say that. He says it feels like raw chicken. And it's cold.
Raw marinating chicken. So it's disgusting. Like, it's like you just, like, wet disgusting chicken. Ugh. The way they explained it made me grossed out.
I didn't think it was too bad. I mean, having cooked and handled raw chicken in copious amounts. No, I didn't think it was weird. I was like, okay, I get what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
It's very matter of fact, and that's what's weird to me about it.
And Hikaru says, you feel warm. It's been a while since I've had something inside of me. And he's like, go up farther. So Yoshiki does. He goes up farther and it's like splitting Hikaru's face. And he's like, oh, damn. Oh, it feels good.
I'm about to bust.
Yeah. But then something starts pulling Yoshiki in. And then he pulls out. Hikaru starts laughing and is like, sorry about that. Here, take a look at me with no shirt. And Yoshiki is like, fuck you, man. Put your shirt back on.
Well, before this, they say a very important thing. That was weird. Hikaru's like, Yoshiki goes to grab his arm back, and then he's like wiping it on his shirt, And then Hikaru's like, don't do that. Don't wipe me off of you. I was like,
Yeah,
dog,
yeah, yeah.
chill, bro.
You know how much people would pay to do that? Like
Yeah.
wiping it on my own shirt, not even your shirt.
You could sell that. You could sell
Yeah.
your arm right now for hundreds of dollars on the internet.
Yep, Hikaru OnlyFans.
Yep.
Cuts to Yoshiki at the supermarket, and the cashier is like, oh shit, you're the Tsujinaka's son. How is your little sister doing? The lady's basically just gossiping to Yoshiki. And then the lady from episode 1 that was buying the taiyaki is there, and she's watching. And Yoshiki is just spacing out and fucking seeing shit the whole time. He walks out and is just having flashbacks of the raw chicken feeling and seeing shit. But as he goes to get on his bike, the taiyaki lady grabs him and says he's getting too close to something really dangerous. And to get away, for it gets, quote, mixed in. Yoshiki is like, oh, okay. Who are you? And she says she's just a housewife, but she can see things other people can't. And that forbidden area in the mountains near Kubitachi village, she has been feeling a terrible air wafting from there. And Yoshiki thinks that's the mountain that Hikaru went missing. She then says all the dreadful feelings vanished recently, and she wonders where it went. And it's been worrying her, but it's been hanging around you, right, Yoshiki? Yoshiki is like, oh, you know something? And she's like, no, but I've never seen a case like this before. And she says he probably has his reasons, but to give her a call when he's ready to talk. And she gives him her contact info. Yoshiki is at home, staring at her contact info and thinking about Hikaru. And as he is thinking of his memories, he thinks of the lady telling him to stop. That's how the episode ends.
Oh, the episode ends with the bug molting and falling down.
Oh, yeah, okay,
getting eaten by the ants. So we see this scene over the course of the episode. And it looks, I think that's a cicada, right?
Sounds right.
Okay. It falls as it's molting. It cares more about the moment of molting rather than keeping a good stance on the wall. And then it falls down and dies. And then the ants are like, tasty.
Yeah, that's what Hikaru did. He didn't really care. He was just like, oh, I'm molting.
It is a strange scene, I will agree. But from the perspective of like understanding being intimate, whether that be like holding on to somebody or putting your hands into someone, it's a very new experience and very strange. It is so fucking weird. That's why I like watching this show. I appreciate the weirdness of it.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily mind this scene because I was framing it in the idea that Hikaru isn't human. Now, if this was just two boys in a PE locker room and instead of him putting his hand inside of his stomach, cutting him in half up to his face and just jerking him off instead, I'd be like, okay, well, that's kind of weird.
I like how fast you said that last part.
Yeah, I just had to get through.
Yeah, I just had to get through.
Yeah, maybe everyone
just like
just kind
they
of
did.
gloss over that. Yeah, just
like
I
they
didn't say
did.
anything.
Yeah, no, we didn't talk about it. Anyways, they're very, very interesting, strange, foreign, something I don't think is talked about very much. I just want people to feel safe in their own bodies.